Have you ever found yourself crushing on someone so hard that you almost lost yourself, trying too hard to impress them and win their affection? You constantly text, call, find every possible way to meet up, only to realize that the more you try, the more distant and disappointed you feel. If you've experienced this feeling, then this video is for you. Today we're going to explore a surprising philosophy of love from Stoicism. Don't try too hard when you really like someone. It may sound counterintuitive, but it's the act of restraint and maintaining a certain distance that can create a special kind of attraction, helping you win their heart naturally and sustainably. Join me as we delve into the world of love and Stoicism, where you will learn how to master your emotions, build confidence, and attract others with your true self. Remember, you have the power to change the dynamics and regain control. And trust me, that's far more valuable than the fleeting moments of attention they might give you. You are the prize, the goal they need to strive for, not the other way around. That's true attraction. That's the power radiating from within you. If this video resonates with you, if it sparks a glimmer of hope or ignites determination within you, then now is the time to show your support by clicking the like button. Because understand this, if you find value in these insights, there are definitely others out there who need to hear this message too. Let's spread these positive values together, so no one has to waste their time and emotions on unworthy relationships. Now let's continue this journey of transformation with powerful steps forward. This is not just a stopping point, but a new beginning. When you decide to stop fighting for their attention, you're not just waiting for them to change. You're actively redirecting your energy into building yourself up, becoming a better and more attractive version of yourself, one they can't ignore. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. So, stay with me, because today is the day you rewrite your love story. This is the day you stop being the victim, stop begging, and start taking control of your life. To affirm this change, I have a small challenge for you. Leave a comment below with the phrase, "I deserve to be respected." This is not just a statement, but a powerful declaration of your self-worth. You deserve to be loved, to be respected, and no one has the right to treat you carelessly. They need to realize that they are losing something precious if they don't value you. So speak up boldly. Let the world know that you have reclaimed your power and that you will never settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. The reality is, when you are constantly chasing someone, you are unintentionally handing over all your power to them. You place them on a pedestal, like a shining star, while turning yourself into a small admirer, always looking up and yearning. You are sending the message that you don't value yourself enough to walk alone, that you are willing to trade your self-respect for just a little bit of their time or attention. But that is not how love and attraction work. Begging for attention only makes you less attractive in their eyes, because no one is drawn to desperation and lack of confidence. But imagine what would happen if you stopped, if you decided that you would no longer beg or fight for their approval. Everything would change miraculously. You are no longer a beggar, but become a person in control. Someone who knows their own worth and does not need validation from anyone else. You hold your head high, walking your own path with confidence and pride. This transformation not only catches their attention, but also makes you more attractive than ever. Because confidence and independence are always the most alluring qualities. Chasing love, especially when it's unreciprocated, can make you lose your self-worth and sometimes lead you to make wrong decisions. You may sacrifice too much, compromise on things you shouldn't, or even accept poor treatment just to cling to a fragile relationship. For example, You might neglect your friends, family, or even your work and hobbies just to devote all your time to that person, hoping they will reciprocate your feelings. Or you might change yourself, abandon the things you love or the values you believe in just to please them. These actions not only make you lose yourself, but also diminish your value in their eyes. Instead of spending all your time and energy chasing after someone, try stopping and focusing on building a purposeful and meaningful life for yourself. Think about the passions you've put aside, the goals you once cherished, or the friendships and family relationships you've unintentionally neglected. When you invest in personal growth, pursue your passions, and improve yourself, you will naturally emit a positive energy and confident allure. And this very attractiveness will draw people who share the same values and perspectives towards you, creating healthier and more sustainable relationships. There is an interesting paradox in love. Sometimes the best way to make someone recognize your value is to stop always being there for them. When you are no longer the person who is always present, always ready to meet their needs, they will start to feel your absence and in turn appreciate you more. Imagine you are dating someone and you are always the one initiating texts, calls, and planning dates. You are always willing to adjust your schedule to accommodate them, always available whenever they need you. At first, they might feel happy and lucky to have you, but gradually, they may begin to take your care and attention for granted. They might not feel the need to put in any effort to nurture the relationship because they know you're always there, always ready for them. But what if one day you decide to spend more time on yourself, focus on your work, hobbies, or other relationships, and you're no longer able to dedicate all your time to them? Initially, they may feel surprised and disappointed. They may wonder why you've changed, why you're no longer as attentive as before, but then, as they face the emptiness of your absence, when they no longer have you around to share every moment, they will start to realize your value in their life. They will miss the loving messages, the romantic dates, and they will begin to cherish your affection more. That's human nature. We always yearn for what isn't easily obtainable, and now you become someone of value, someone whose attention must be earned. Think of it this way: if you're always standing outside the door, waiting for them to open it, they'll never wonder where you are. But the moment you stop knocking, they'll start looking out the window to see if you're still there. They'll begin to wonder why you've withdrawn, and that curiosity often leads to attraction. When they realize you're no longer there waiting, they will begin to see your worth. I understand that immediately acting like someone of value is not easy, especially when you've spent so much time and energy pursuing someone or feel dependent on them. At first, you may feel uncomfortable, even anxious, that you will lose them entirely. But this is precisely when you need to remind yourself of today's mantra: I am not someone to be taken for granted. Repeat this to yourself until you truly believe it. Acting like a person of value means that you love and respect yourself enough to walk away from relationships that don't appreciate you. It means recognizing that your worth does not depend on anyone else's approval. And believe that, when you stop striving for their attention, the people who truly see and appreciate who you are will naturally come into your life. A miraculous thing happens when you stop being someone to be taken for granted and start acting like a person of value. The person who once saw you as just an option will suddenly realize what they are losing. Suddenly, you're no longer the one waiting around for them. Now they are the ones who have to find a way to win back your attention. But the best part is, by the time they realize this, you may no longer care. You have found your own strength and value, and you have set a new standard for how you want to be treated. Whether they change or not no longer matters, because you've already won. This is just the beginning of your transformation journey. When you act like a person of value, you not only change how you see yourself, but you also change how others see you. In the next step, we will explore how to disrupt their expectations, how to surprise them by changing the script, and make them see you from a completely new perspective. If you have any questions or thoughts, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I would love to hear your opinions. And if you find this video meaningful, hit the like button right now if you haven't already. Stay tuned, because the journey to rewriting your love story has just begun. You are not someone to be taken for granted. You are strong and valuable. Now that you have started acting like someone in control, it's time to make things even more exciting. You've been playing by their rules, haven't you? Always predictable, always there when they needed you, always willing to accommodate. But that ends today. The next step in your transformation is to disrupt their expectations. When people get used to you always being a certain way, whether it's always available, always saying yes, or always being the one to initiate, they start to take you for granted. But what happens when you change the script? What happens when you're no longer predictable? That's when they'll start paying attention. Predictability can bring comfort, but it's also boring. If someone knows exactly how you'll respond, they'll never see you as a challenge. And let's be honest, chasing someone who is too easy to figure out isn't exciting at all. What keeps people interested is a little bit of mystery, a little bit of unpredictability. They need to feel like they can't completely anticipate you. So how do you disrupt their expectations? Start by doing the opposite of what they've grown accustomed to from you. If you're always the one who initiates contact first, stop. Let them wonder where you are. If you've always adjusted your schedule to suit theirs, start prioritizing your own time instead. This is about breaking old habits and making them see you in a completely new light. Imagine someone who always expects you to reply to their messages immediately. They've gotten used to you always being available. But now, suddenly, you don't respond right away. In fact, you don't respond for hours or even days. At first, they might be confused, maybe even annoyed, but then they'll start wondering what you're up to, why you've changed, and most importantly, whether they've lost you. That's the moment when their interest spikes because you're no longer someone they can easily control. Reversing their expectations is the turning point that changes the entire dynamic. If they're used to you always being there, always chasing after them, now you pull back. If they see you as just a backup option, you start acting like you have countless other choices because the truth is, you do. This is the time to show them that you're not someone who will settle for crumbs of affection. You deserve to be respected and treated properly. Imagine you're trying to attract someone who's been distant or sending mixed signals. Instead of reacting with frustration or desperation, you choose silence. You stop responding to their half-hearted efforts and begin focusing on yourself. What happens next? They start questioning everything. They begin to wonder about your change. Why aren't you reacting like you used to? Why aren't you trying to get their attention anymore? They will feel the power shift, and suddenly, you're the one in control. When you disrupt their expectations, you create a new energy, a new kind of attraction around yourself. This isn't about playing games or manipulation. It's about showing them that you're not someone they can predict, control, or take for granted. You're sending a clear message. If they want a place in your life, they need to earn it. This shift will spark their curiosity, attraction, and eventually their desire. Think about reading a book. If you can predict every plot point, you'll quickly get bored and stop reading. But if the book keeps surprising you, you won't be able to put it down. You are that book. Keep them guessing. Make them work to understand you, to be curious about your next move. That's when real attraction starts to build. People don't usually appreciate what they think they can always have. But when there's uncertainty, when they're unsure of where they stand with you, that's when their feelings become intense. Disrupting their expectations creates just enough uncertainty to make them realize that they can't take you for granted anymore. They'll start thinking, wait, I thought I had them all figured out. I thought I knew what they were thinking, but now I'm not so sure. And that's when they begin to actively seek your attention, instead of assuming it will always be there. I understand you might be worried. Changing the way we interact with others, especially when we're used to a certain pattern, can be daunting. You might wonder, will they be upset? Will they get angry or even leave? But listen to me. If someone leaves just because you're no longer catering to their every whim, or because you start demanding the respect you deserve, then they never truly valued you in the first place. You deserve someone who sees your worth, who loves and respects you for who you are, not just for what you can do for them. Remember, you are an independent, strong, and valuable individual. You don't need to sacrifice yourself or compromise your beliefs just to keep someone by your side. Believe in yourself and your inner strength. When you start loving and respecting yourself, you will attract people who do the same. Ask yourself, what kind of relationship do you want? Do you want to be with someone who makes you question your own worth, or someone who lifts you up, respects you, and grows with you? The answer lies within you.